Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Reggie Kimball, a.k.a. Stickman #1, kicking it in Lithia Springs, Georgia today with my boy Brian T. from Acere Cigar Lounge. What's up, Brian?
What's up, man?
Hey,
How you
thanks
doing?
for having me out here, man.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're puffing today. I'm puffing on, what am I puffing on here? Actually, the Perdomo rep was Chuck, right? Chris is here
Harper.
today. Sorry, Chris Harper is here today. So it was my lucky day. Ran into Chris, and he blessed us with a couple sticks for the podcast. So it is a 10th anniversary of Perdomo. So
and you have the Maduro, I have the sun grown, so you actually came out ahead.
Oh, did I? Okay. Well, you know what? He must. I'm a new guy, so I got the new guy privileges.
I'll lean on him
kicking
later.
on. You give him hell next time.
That's it.
So I've been looking forward to doing this, man. I appreciate you having us out at the Stickmen.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to chop it up, man. I want to know all about what's going on here because my first time down here was a few weeks ago when I had the pleasure of coming out to Cigar Mike's Christmas event and that you guys were hosting, man.
Yeah, good old Cigar Mike.
Hey, that brother gets you in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Tell me about it.
He ain't shit. His shirts will tell you that he ain't shit.
And wristbands now.
And wristbands will tell you he ain't shit. But he is some shit. He's a good dude, man.
Super good guy.
Yeah, so he actually came on the Stickmen Podcast a while back. I don't know if you saw the episode, but we had a good time. We did that one over at Highland Cigars.
Okay.
And had a great time, man. So today, everybody, we're going to do a little puff sip chat. And we're going to repeat that shit over and over again with my boy Brian T. He's the owner here of Acere Lounge. And we got connected a few weeks ago, like I just said. And now we get a chance to just really kind of understand what it's all about here, man. How long you guys actually been open?
We opened October 21st of 2018.
Okay.
Is that right? 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
No. 2019.
So it's been a couple years now.
Well, it's
1 year and a half.
1 year. Yeah, 1 year and about three
3
months.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it's
So you opened not long before COVID. A few months
exactly
before
right.
COVID.
Yeah. So we were open about 3 months, and then we had to close for 7 weeks because of COVID.
Wow.
And luckily, we're far enough outside of the city of Atlanta where the government hasn't leaned terribly hard on us.
You're still able to do your thing a little bit.
Yeah, now.
And do it responsibly because I see you guys are doing. Yeah, I've been watching your posts online. Yeah.
Yeah, we try and do the social distancing. People don't really want to listen, so you got to remind them. But do the social distancing, hand sanitizing, washing of the hands, fumigating the lounge, stuff like that, just to try and keep people as safe as possible.
Okay.
But yeah, after that 7 weeks, we were closed. We opened back up, and it was like we just took off. It was a beautiful thing.
Now, when you were open just a few months and then COVID, did that freak you out a little bit?
Yeah. And when you spend that type of money launching this, you know, and then the government comes down and says, by the way, close. And unfortunately, with all the benefits packages and bailouts that they were rolling out with, they were all based on the previous year's business.
So you didn't have shit to base it on.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I had 2 months of, 2.5 months of business history to base it on. So I didn't get the big bailout that some of these other bigger guys got. But
they gave you a little something to tide you over.
Yeah.
Not what you would have made if you had been open, though.
Right. And luckily enough, I'm smart with the little bit of chips I do have. So I was prepared for the worst, and because I figured we'd be closed for 6 or 8 months.
Okay.
But luckily that wasn't the truth. So after that 7 weeks, they came down and said, we can open at limited capacity and all that good jazz. So we followed all the guidelines and everything.
Kind of slowly open things back up.
We didn't even tell people we were reopening. We just opened the doors and seen who would pop in.
Not even your members?
No, the members always know. Yeah.
The members knew what was up.
Yeah.
Cheers, by the way, man.
Cheers.
Tell them what you're drinking real quick before you go back to that.
So this is actually an Acere bourbon old-fashioned.
Okay.
And what I did was I got with ASW, who is a local distiller, and I bought a barrel of bourbon from them.
Hold on. We're not dealing with bottles here. You're talking about you have a barrel.
I bought the barrel, and I had it bottled for Acere. Yeah, so it's great. If you're a bourbon person, you'll absolutely love it. But it will put you on your ass because it's 115 proof. It's barrel proof.
What?
So if you're not if you don't like the hard stuff, this ain't for you.
Well, I may have to try that.
Yeah,
Not that
I got
I'm alcoholic or anything, but I'm gonna try that. I'm just sipping a little Scotch neat, so I gotta keep up with you, man. And you got a serious cocktail list, by the way.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very impressed. So I want to come back to that in a second.
Yeah.
But so you made it through COVID, though.
Made it through COVID, reopened, and we were just very well received from our community. We were kind of in a sweet spot because our nearest shops are D&D & Company in Hiram, who's about, 10 or 12 miles that way from us.
So you got this area on lock.
Yeah,
in
and then
Springs.
and Conrad's at Cigaros is about 10 or 12 miles that way. So we're kind of in the sweet spot between the two of them.
And I'm sure that was strategic, being the businessman that you are. You did your homework, sounds like. Okay.
And then we have, of course, up in Douglasville, we have Cigar Box. So, and we all get along really well. So there's no, it's like a good family of all of us, which is a beautiful thing. I've never been in an industry before where people were friendly to each other, and I don't even see them as competition. There's plenty of business for everybody.
I'm a man, Chris Hopper from I don't know messing with us. Chris, thank you for the stick, by the way.
You are welcome.
Appreciate it. Good stick.
Yeah, so there's plenty of business for everybody. So it's not that cutthroat industry where everybody's shitting on each other, or bad mouthing. I love them. They
people
love me.
People don't understand that, man. I try to tell people that. And I don't know if it's like that in every city. I've been to quite a few, but Atlanta, there's a lot of love amongst the lounge owners,
and
man.
If we're being candid and being honest, there's a couple shops that some of us don't
deal
with.
So we can't label everybody as part of the family, right?
But 90% of us get along very well, and are, I guess, fortunate enough to call each other friends. I mean, even the patio, all of the patios, dear friends of mine, George.
I was there on Saturday. They were talking about you. They were mentioning that. Yeah.
Yep. So I just love it, and it's kind of like that's a good segue into, I think, part of the reason why I love cigars so much, because there's nothing else on earth that brings people together like a cigar, right?
That's right.
So for us to be able to blend almost like a family, all of our shops, that's just a testament to what cigars do, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I tell people it's about the people you meet, the relationships you build, the conversations that you have with people, man. The cigar is one thing, and I love smoking on a good stick, as we have right now, but really meeting you and getting to know your stories. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and it's I see it in here all the time. I see literally members of mine that are multi-million-dollar cats sit next to a guy that scrounged up enough money to buy a stick and sit down, and they're having the best conversation. It doesn't matter if he's got all the money in the world and he's dead broke.
It doesn't matter. Not in this lifestyle, man.
Yeah, and that's really the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's the culture.
Yeah, and it expounds or crosses over all color lines and political forecasts and all that, and we can just hone in on what's important in that moment, and that's fellowship, brotherhood, and or sisterhood, and sitting down and smoking a good stick.
I love that, man. Especially you mentioned something too. You get to leave a lot of the politics and all that stuff out, especially today, right now. For those who don't know, we are taping, and today is Wednesday, January 6th. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, but today all fucking hell is breaking loose right now up there in D.C. But right now, when we got a cigar lit and a little whiskey, we can forget about it for a minute.
As long as they don't bring that shit to 230 Thornton Road, we're all right.
Right, exactly. I'm right there with you.
A buddy of mine literally just sent me a picture of some guy in a zoot suit sitting inside the Capitol. I don't where they have
that big hall with everything.
The
Rotunda. They
there's
created it there. They just had to evacuate.
There's a dude in regular clothes, like a domestic terrorist, sitting in the rotunda at the head of the whole thing right now.
That's bullshit. That really is bullshit. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That's bullshit.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, man. But back to the more pleasant topics. Seriously, obviously you've been a cigar man for a minute now. I'm assuming. Have you had a lounge before? This your first one?
I've had a bar. I had a bar probably 10 or 12 years ago in Johns Creek, but it wasn't a cigar bar. So what happened was I've got an extensive history in construction.
Okay.
So when I sold my last bar, I went back into commercial construction and did that for a long time. And I started flipping houses for myself.
Okay.
And I did that for 5 or 6 years, and we just got burnt out in doing it. So I knew the bar industry, and I had a passion for cigars.
Okay.
So I just smacked those two things together.
That's a nice combination.
Yeah, and ended up here, and it's been great, man.
Okay.
I'm lucky enough to say that I love my job. I mean, it's got its headaches, of course. But every job has its headaches. I just really like what I do, and I like the people.
Is Atlanta home for you? Or you?
Originally, I'm a Florida boy.
Okay.
But I've been here so long that this is home, right?
Okay, that's how I'm a Florida boy too. I'm from Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lived in Tampa. I lived in Valrico, Brandon, Valrico for several years.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I went to Armwood High School.
Okay.
And parents, in-laws, everybody is in that very Brandon, Valrico area. Yeah, we homeboys.
Yeah. So, but everybody asks, where are you from? Well, I'm from Florida, but Atlanta is home.
Okay.
And I'm probably not going anywhere. I can't convince my wife to move to Wyoming, so.
Oh, is that where you would go?
Yeah.
Oh, man, okay.
Everybody's always like, what's in Wyoming? I said, nothing. That's why I want to go.
You want peace and tranquility. That's what it sounds like when you're going for. Well, keep working on that. You may break it down.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you done tried that already. So I did some research, man, and you tell me if I'm right. I said, Acere. What does Acere mean? I found it. Is this right? I said, Miami, Cuban homeboy. Is that right?
Yeah, so the true pronunciation of the word is Acere.
Acere, okay. Thank you. All right.
It's kind of like, it's a street term, more in Cuba than even Miami. It's a street term for homeboy.
Okay.
So like we say,
almost there.
Yeah. So it's like what we would say was, what's up, homeboy?
Okay.
They'd say, Acere. Like,
Acere. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
so,
okay.
It's just kind of me being from Florida and grew up in Miami, and it just and I wanted to keep with that Cuban theme because Cubans kind of mastered the art of cigar rolling from the jump.
They are the masters.
So that's why I came up with Acere. I just got so tired of educating people on how to say it, and they came in here and kept saying Acere. I was like, you know what?
So
let's go with Acere.
Okay, you dropping some serious now. Everybody got to pay attention to this. You opened up this lounge and you called it Acere Lounge, but the customers changed it by default to Acere. And when I came in, it was introduced to me as Acere.
Right. So originally I was trying to tell everybody, no, this is how you say it, and it was exhausting. So I was like, you know what? Let's just call it what you guys want to call it.
Just gave up. Hey, everybody, come down to Acere Lounge. But it's actually Acere. Acere.
Yep.
All right, cool. I like that. Yeah, and so you launched the line. Were you like planning this a long time? Or?
So I started looking for spaces probably a year before I signed a lease on this one.
Okay.
And what happened was the original space that I wanted to grab was down in Union City.
Okay.
And I couldn't make it work with the landlord and leasing agent. They were being really weird. And luckily it didn't work. Because now, and I don't know if you're familiar, but Brian Boulware, he's opening Studio Cigar in Fairburn, which is one exit down.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Which his place is magnificent.
So you already checked it out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I've walked it with him. Okay. It's beautiful. You guys got to go check it out.
Okay, we will.
It's
Brian,
amazing.
I'm coming your way.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's going to probably be, it's the mecca of cigar lounges for the Southeast.
Are you serious?
He built it from the ground up. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. His grand opening is the 15th of this month. I did
remember that. So that's just a few days away when you think about it.
A week away.
Great
guy, great business. I think he'll do really, really well down there.
And see, you will be there to support. Who else would give? What other industries do you see?
Plug in
the competition, really, because at the end of the day, it is. But it's family too, and it's the culture and it's the vibe, which is a beautiful thing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But
before I forget, I'm sorry.
No.
So the original spot was in Union City, but luckily it didn't work out because I had no idea that Brian was in the works of putting that together. And then I just got online. I was scrubbing the internet trying to find new spots that I was interested in, and this came across.
So you weren't basing it on where you lived or anything. You just said, "I'm gonna find the right spot."
The right spot.
Okay. Do you live nearby too? Or?
I live in South Fulton.
Okay.
Which is not
11,
12 miles from here. So I came across this spot, and it used to be a Johnny's Pizza. So I came to look at it, and then I did my market research, a traffic count, demographic, and then I saw how far the other shops were from where I was at.
So you wanted to plop it right there.
Yeah. And I have Conrad and I are very close friends, and I wanted to make sure I didn't step on his toes because he had been really good to me. So I called him and I said, hey, meet me over at this address. So he came over and I was like, this is my plan. Is it going to offend you or am I stepping on your toes? And he said, absolutely not, man. Do that shit. And so
and now you're doing it. And it's a beautiful lounge, by the way, folks.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And so I started. It took me 6 months from the day I signed the lease to the day I opened. It took me 6 months to build it out because when it was Johnny's Pizza, it was a complete shithole. Like, I mean, it was terrible shape.
So this is a gut job.
I gutted everything except the bathrooms.
Okay.
So I left the bathrooms in place and gutted everything. You could see straight from the front door out the back door.
Okay.
So all these walls, everything you see is new.
Okay.
Which originally I hadn't planned on doing that, but once I got into it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to gut it. So, but I'm glad I did because this is my vision. Like, my vision looks just like this. It looked like this on paper, and it converted perfectly, in person. So
you did the design yourself, or did you work with somebody? So you're the mastermind, truly.
I had an architect that helped me kind of decipher my thoughts, and she was wonderful. But for the most part, this is exactly out of my brain. Okay. So.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm impressed you hooked it up.
Oh, thanks, man.
So what do you wish you knew about this before you actually, started? There's got to be some challenges you had, right?
I think my biggest challenge, if we're being candid, is I've never had more staffing issues.
Ooh, yeah.
In the hospitality arena, staffing is just really, really hard right now.
I started my career in hospitality on the management side, so I know.
So it's been a challenge for sure, and both front of the house and back of the house, which my last bar or restaurant, it was challenging, but not near this many challenges, which we make it work. And I mean, we have a pretty great team at this point, a year and a half in.
But you had to go through some learning phase, right?
Oh, man.
Probably had a lot of churn early on.
I mean, a lot. Like the turnover in here was incrable at the beginning.
Oh, man.
And then
Did you have to have some epic firings and like, get the hell out of here?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, but with that old saying, if it was easy, everybody do it.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Just keep on plowing at it.
That's true. Oh man. All right. So employees are, I know from a challenge from my own past, I know that's a tough part. You feel like you got that lick now, so you got a solid, strong team. I tell you, my first time here, your servers and your bartenders, they all showed a lot of love and really seemed to be
I'm glad to hear
on point. That. So it sounds like whatever you did to get it together, you got it together.
Well, it's constant attention, right? Like there's not a lot of days where we can let up, ease up. So it's always you got to be not on them, but you got to be visible.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Either myself or my general manager. We're always here. We're always attentive. We're always watching.
Yep.
Just to make sure there's a standard.
That's right.
And then when the standard dips, we pick it back up.
That's what I said. And you're here. You're holding everybody accountable, man, for quality service.
And I expect the same from them. If I dip or if I fail somewhere, I expect them to say, "Hey, BT."
I've always told my teams that I got an open door. You got to have a thick skin, man. You can't have any ego in this if you want to be good, right?
Yep.
One thing I really like about Acere, I'm gonna say Acere. I don't care about the rest of everybody.
I like it.
One thing I like about Acere Lounge, I'm from Florida, and my very first girlfriend in life was Puerto Rican. I won't talk about that because some people will get mad if I say that. So she taught me a few words, but so I can say I can't roll my R's. I never quite got there, but I'm okay.
You broke up too quick.
Exactly. But one thing I like about Acere Lounge is that it's a lounge. And you take the cigar smoking seriously, clearly by the humidor that you have. And I'm going to get some good photos. So folks on the podcast, you'll see these photos. But I like the fact that it's an event venue, really.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you tell me if I don't want to classify it wrong, but you guys got the DJ popping sometimes. You got live music jumping off sometimes. I even saw on Instagram the other day that you got a stroke and a stroke and paint event.
Smoke and stroke.
That's it. Smoke and stroke coming up, which I'm assuming is like people light up and puff
paint.
a little and paint.
Yeah. So when we open this, well, let me start here. There's a lot of bars in Atlanta that just happen to have cigars.
That's right.
But there's a few cigar bars, right? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
We are a cigar bar. Mm-hmm. Our focus is on the cigars.
Mm-hmm. And too many people sometimes lose focus of the cigar, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do entertainment, but it all comes back to this, right? Mm-hmm. Like this is what we're here for.
If this is not good, in my opinion, I don't want to come. I'm gonna just be straight up.
Yep. Yeah. And I get the question all the time. Hey, you guys should let hookah in. Absolutely, fucking not.
Yeah.
No. Or you should put a pool table in here. No. You know, we have a.
I don't want to ever see a pool table in a cigar lounge, folks. I'm just gonna say that's just me.
Yeah.
Cause I'm snotty.
And you know, it's not like I like shooting pool too, but
of course
this is I consider this more of a traditional cigar lounge where we all are here relaxing, hanging out, smoking cigars, enjoying each other's camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood. Right. And we do entertainment just to spice it up. You know, we do a DJ on Friday nights. We do live jazz on Saturday nights. We do stuff like the Smoke and Stroke stuff.
Is that going to be your first Smoke and Stroke?
No, it's actually the second.
So that means you're doing it again. That means it must have went really well.
It went really well, and the beauty of it is, and I'm big on this. My wife smokes cigars with me, and in my humble opinion, there's nothing sexier than a woman who smokes a cigar, right?
I said that.
So
I said the same thing.
The beauty of the Smoke and Stroke is that it attracts a lot of new or novice cigar smokers that are 99.9% female. So they come in.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. So it's a totally different. You're not getting necessarily just the brothers coming.
Nope, it's almost all women.
Wow.
And so they enjoy themselves.
First-time smokers, some of them?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of stuff for first-time smokers. I have the same play I run with somebody who's never smoked a cigar, especially a female.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of the flavored stuff where we start them at, and then a lot of the light, creamy stuff to move them on into.
That's right. That's how you introduce someone properly.
Yeah, you just got to be careful because then I introduced my wife to Liga 9s, and now all she wants to smoke is Ligas, which is an expensive problem for me.
You walked right into that one.
Right. I progressed her too far too fast.
Supposed to ease into that thing a little bit. That's funny. So the Smoke and Stroke event, I might have to come check that out. I like the sound of it. It sounds like a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it is cool. And all the ladies have a blast. There was a couple gentlemen who did it as well, but it was 95% or better.
Now, when people see this podcast, all of a sudden, when the brothers hear that, the ladies.
It happened that night. It happened that night. They all popped in, and so it was a bunch of women painting and smoking, and a bunch of men on the corners looking like, okay, I see you. Yep, creeps.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was a great turnout, and the gal who puts it on, she does a fantastic job.
Did you participate? You get a little painting on yourself?
I was actually out of town when they did it, so this time I'm going to be around.
You might dabble a little something.
Yeah, I can't even draw a stick figure, but I'll at least give it a whirl. So.
That's nice. You don't have any business partners, really. I guess probably other than your wife is probably your closest business partner.
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay, so you're really doing your thing, man. One thing I like too for folks, and I'm gonna get to the cocktails in a second, but I actually had some food that night, and you guys actually you are an actual restaurant too, as far as I'm concerned.
So we're categorized as a restaurant.
Okay,
we're the only people in Douglas County currently where you can smoke, drink, and eat indoors.
Okay,
and they literally had to pull out the bylaws of Douglas County and write an amendment in for me to do this, and that was no small feat.
I was about to say, people in high places, man.
Yep. There's a certain gentleman that helped me.
Okay.
Amazingly. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't have came together because they didn't want me to do it.
Okay.
I think a lot of the time.
This is a different world, though. The cigar lounge. Hopefully, they understood that eventually, right?
They eventually did, and they see it now. But when we're so far out of the city, we're 15 plus miles out of the city. What I think it is they thought lounge club. So now they're concerned about, do I really want to do the club? Do I want to allow a club in here?
Yeah, because this is not an area that wants a club. I can tell you that now.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was the real concern in Douglas County was when you said lounge, they automatically changed gears to he's trying to open a club, and that just wasn't the case. And now our average, I guess, customer is 40 plus years old. Established.
This culture is grown folks culture.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's not. You don't see any kids in this.
We don't let you wear your pants around your ankles. We don't let you cuss and carry on and none of that stuff. So now that they see what my vision was, I think they're happy that they made the decision to let me try and do it out here. And I understand it's no pun or jab against them. I would have been nervous too if I wasn't abreast on what the cigar culture was. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
So,
but because none of us, I don't think any of us had a healthy respect. I know I didn't. Even just when I started Stickmen, it wasn't until I started really. I had gone to my home shops quite a bit, right? A couple spots by my house, but as now I start moving around the city, actually going around the country. Yeah. All of a sudden, I see now this thing is bigger than us. This lifestyle, and it's a different lifestyle, and everybody wants to chill. It's a tranquil lifestyle. I tell people. I never see. Somebody else said it the other day. Never seen a fight in a cigar lounge. Yep. It won't happen here. God forbid. I hope I never will. Yep. But I put money that we probably never will. That's not the audience here. Yeah.
It would be a weird situation for that.
It would be a weird situation.
Yeah. Even the there's a couple spots in town that have a younger crowd than we have for sure. But even in those spots, I wouldn't anticipate any type of conflict or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's something calming, soothing about smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
You got to really try and piss somebody off to get them riled up smoking a cigar, right?
You do.
Yeah. So.
And then you got the cocktails here, man. You got a nice little cocktail menu. You talked about the old-fashioned which you have your own barrel, which I'm very impressed with. What other cocktails are kind of...
So we do a lot of like sidecars, like Hennessy sidecars, or cognac sidecars. We do a lot of straight pours. I have an extremely extensive bourbon list.
I'm checking it out. I was eyeballing the list. I can see it from here, and I'm like, this is not bad.
I'm just as passionate about bourbon as I am cigars.
Okay.
So,
so we can do a tasting here then.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about it. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm planning some tastings and some cigar pairings. We're gonna do some pairing night.
Yeah.
All right.
And I work and strive hard to find the really hard to get bourbons. So I've got all the E.H. Taylors, all the Wellers.
You got the big boy
got
stuff.
Pappy. I've got
Pappy here?
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's so hard to find, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I fight hard to get those things in because it sets you kind of apart if you can come in and get a drink that you can't get anywhere else.
Folks, you can get Pappies here.
Yep.
That's right there. I'm gonna send some people your way on that alone.
Yeah. And we do the same thing. We try and get the hard to get cigars as well.
What's like your popular stick here? What do people tend to gravitate towards here?
It changes quite frequently. Right now, we can't keep the Andalusian Bull, of course. So
I can't even get an Andalusian Bull today.
The last 4 or 5 got sold last night.
That thing is so hard to find, man. Some people don't even put them out in some lounges. They just kind of tuck them away, request only kind of thing.
That's it. But, I want everybody to have at least the opportunity to try it. If we're being candid again, I'm a bigger fan of the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 from LFD than I am the Bull.
Okay.
Nothing against the Bull. The Bull's a great smoke.
It's got a legendary status at this point.
Yeah. And here's the thing. LFD is not stupid. If you find something and make it hard to get, people want it more.
That's right.
Right? So that's kind of the following that they have right now. But like I said, if you're a fan of the Bull, you should try the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I'm gonna go find that.
Yeah. They're fantastic.
Do you ever carry? You carry?
Yeah. I carry them.
You got it today?
Yeah.
That might be my next smoke then.
Let's do it.
That might be my next smoke.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you have a house stick here?
No, we used to have a house stick, but we're in the process of trying to find somebody else to do our house stick.
Okay.
So it's going to be something special if I bring it back in.
So you took the words out of my mouth. When you do a house stick, it's going to be serious. You're going to go work with somebody, put a nice blend together. That's your blend, and you're not talking about just going out and private label something. You're going to do something special.
Yeah, and I'm chatting with a few different manufacturers about making my way down to Nicaragua.
I was about to. You're going to the homeland. There you go.
And I'm a much bigger fan of Nicaraguan tobacco than any other tobacco. It's just my palate. But I would definitely be, hopefully, in the first part of this year, make my way down there and sit with some folks and see if we can put something together.
Okay.
So it'll be fantastic. I can assure you.
I can't wait. Now, is that something you think we'll see in 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be this year. I don't know when, but it'll definitely be this year.
Okay. All right. So when you pair your sticks, then you sounds like, are you always typically doing a mixed cocktail, or you just going straight bourbon, sounds like yourself?
Well, I love a straight bourbon pour, but I own a bar, so I try not to do straight bourbon pours until after 6 or 7 at night. You start at 3 o'clock with straight bourbon.
No, you're in trouble.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
We at least waited till like 4.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's I'd prefer straight bourbon, but just to play the long game throughout the day, I start with either a old fashioned. That's really the only thing I drink is either a straight pour bourbon or an old fashioned. I don't drink.
You do single malts ever? Because I'm a single malt guy myself.
I carry a lot of scotch, but I don't drink a lot of scotch.
You don't drink a lot of scotch.
The only scotches I like are like a Macallan double barrel 12 year, which is real bourbony anyway.
Yeah, it is very bourbony. Yeah.
Right. So, but I'm not a big fan of peat. Like any of the peat stuff.
Sometimes the peat can get too heavy for me personally. Even though I love it, it gets a little peaty. Yeah,
and I'm just not a fan of that taste. But yeah, there's nothing better than a good bourbon, straight pour. Like one of my favorites is Elmer T. Lee, which we have.
Okay.
I love an Elmer T. Lee.
I'm coming here just to sip, man. I say puff sip, but I might have to just come here and sip. Sip. Exactly.
Yeah. So an Elmer T. Lee and a good cigar. Life is good, That's like perfect recipe for a good day.
And how long you been smoking personally?
So, truth be told, I've been smoking about 6 years.
Oh, wow, that's a relatively new. Yeah. I'm impressed. You know your shit for somebody who's been doing it 6 years.
So I when I decided I was gonna, engulf myself into the culture, I started reading a bunch of books and researching and studying, and fell more in love with cigars and the culture. Okay. And leaning on guys like Chris Harper and some of my other reps to give me a brief education on everything. So yeah, in the grand scheme, I'm a new smoker. Okay. I just fell in love with it. And I'm a motorcycle guy, so I ride Harleys. And one of my buddies, Kimbo, I credit him with him putting my first cigar in my hand. And the first one I smoked, must have been crap, because I was like, this might not be it. He was like, that's just not the one for you. Your palate might be blah, blah, blah. He gave me another couple of them, and I finally found.
You stuck with it, though.
Yeah. Okay. And I finally found one that I just absolutely fell in love with. And if, a shameless plug for them, it's Esteban Carrera's Chupacabra.
Oh, that's a nice stick, man. Yeah,
the Chupacabra literally made me fall in love with smoking cigars.
Those here. I think I saw that last time.
I saw a lot of Chupacabras. So, that was the one that really grabbed me from the very beginning. And I still smoke at least 3 or 4 of them a week. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So it's one of my favorites to this day.
All right. I'm going to have to get with that.
Yeah.
Now I'm torn, man, because I saw the Chupacabra last time. I almost got it, but I said, nah, but now I'm back. So if I don't smoke it tonight, I'll get one to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're not always at the cigar lounge, I know.
All right.
What do you do, man, when you're not here, man? I know you ride Harleys. We talked about that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm a Harley cat. I got an old school '67 Camaro SS. So I spend time with her.
So now you do all the work yourself?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I let professionals be professional.
Stay in your lane.
That's it.
People that say, I can work on that.
No. I just when I'm not in my cigar lounge, I'm in somebody else's cigar lounge. I spend a ton of time at the patio. I spend a ton of time with Conrad.
Somebody at the patio was telling me that you and your wife come through there on a regular, almost every week at some point.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, I was there. I was there on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent a couple hours with them. I spent a lot of time at Fellowship with CJ.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I usually every Sunday morning I go to brunch with CJ and at Fellowship.
Tell CJ to get with the Stickmen, man. I've been trying to reach out to those cats. Maybe you could get me on and give an intro for me.
Well, not everybody likes to be on camera.
Okay.
So that might.
CJ, you can designate somebody. You don't have to do it.
Akbar will do it.
Oh, Akbar. There you go. Sounds like I got to go talk to Akbar.
That's it. Yeah, but they're great guys. The thing about, I guess, when you start smoking cigars, you don't want to go a lot of places where you can't smoke cigars.
No, you don't.
Chris, I'll see you soon.
Chris, bro. Man, appreciate it. Awesome stick. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I met you out here, man. Cool. Chris Harper, Perdomo Cigars, said he's going to come on the Stickmen Podcast, everybody.
Yeah.
You see how he did that? Now you can't back out.
All right, bud. I'll do it. Take care of yourself.
All right.
Yeah, so the funny thing about when you start smoking cigars, you don't want to go places where you can't smoke cigars.
Dude,
so
you speaking about, I'm that way now.
Yeah.
I'm that way.
So if I walk into a bar and I'm having drinks, it sure would be nice to have a cigar. But if you can't, you're like, let's go somewhere we can smoke.
Even some of the places during the summertime, they don't even let you smoke them on the patios sometimes.
Right. Yep.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, I just typically, if I'm not here working, I'm either at home with the wife, on the motorcycle, or at somebody else's cigar lounge.
Okay, you're not a golfer then.
Oh no, I'm a man of very little patience.
Golf takes a lot of damn patience, man.
That's it.
I wish I hated golf. Actually, you know what? I do hate it. But I keep doing it anyway because I'm trying to figure out a way to beat the damn game, but you can't beat it. You can only just get out there and enjoy being out with nature. How about that?
You're just a glutton for punishment.
That may be it. That may be it. Yeah. So you're riding your Harleys, you got your Camaro, doing your thing. And before you as a business person, I mean, you said you owned a bar before. Have you always been just an entrepreneur? Is that when you ever like done the corporate thing? You just kind of always been there?
I have. I've done the corporate thing. And at this point in my life, I couldn't imagine punching somebody else's clock. Right? So and nothing against anybody that does punch a clock.
Well, yeah, you got to. Yeah.
In your space, it works for you. It just doesn't work for me. I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I was young. I'm a Marine, so I went straight out of high school into the Marines.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So I went straight into the Marines, and as soon as I got out of the Marines, I started trying to figure out how to work for myself.
Okay.
So I've had a plethora of different businesses, from a recording studio to a landscape business to a construction company to flipping houses to a bar to this bar. So I've done a number of things, but I'm just in love with running my own business. Okay. And that comes with a ton of headaches, of course.
It does. It does.
But I'd rather manage my own headaches than trying to manage somebody else's headaches.
Yes.
And I'd rather make my own money than make somebody else a whole bunch of money.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm an entrepreneur through and through. I don't think I could ever, I guess, work for somebody in a traditional 9-to-5 punch clock.
For somebody, just take Cigar Lounge out of it, somebody that wanted to be an entrepreneur, and they came to you and said, hey man, Brian, give me some little advice. What would you tell them?
Prepare yourself for twice as much work as you've ever done.
Yeah.
And we're not just saying physical labor, it's mental stress, physical stress, time, because the time that this place commands from me is incredible. Sacrifice, you sacrifice home life, and you got to make sure your mate is prepared for that.
Dude, I don't know if you see our Instagram post, but we had a post this week. I had a podcast, did it about a month ago with Cedric Dunson of Fat Ash Collection. Fat Ash. Yeah. And he had a quote that we actually put it out on Instagram. He said, the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is trying not to get divorced, or figuring out how not to get divorced. Yep. And it started so much chat. Even my wife looked at me sideways. But that's true. Yeah. Because the time and dedication, even with Stickmen, nothing like this, but just this is the fun part. Right. But then going back and putting it all together and editing everything, that takes time, and just building the relationships and managing everything. It's not easy.
Well, and I think people, they see me in here and they see the time and sacrifice and dedication that it takes on my end, but a lot of the time they miss the sacrifice and dedication and support that my wife provides, right? So
without that, wouldn't it be hard to get it done?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't truthfully.
Y'all have children at home? Or?
No, I have a 21-year-old.
Okay, all right. So you passed the children.
Yeah. But she, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, and I wouldn't be nearly as successful here if it wasn't for her.
That's a beautiful thing.
She's not involved in the day-to-day operations. I mean, she's always looking in the system and, asking questions and finagling behind the scenes. But
so she's helping. She's contributing, definitely.
Yeah, she has her own massively successful career.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so she's busy with that, but when she has some downtime, she helps a lot behind the scenes and just putting up with my shit as a full-time job. So,
and besides the challenge you had early on with your employees, which you seem to have worked out and gotten that straight. Is there ever anything that with dealing with your customers that make it tough? I mean, cause I spoke to a couple folks that I saw a funny video on Instagram the other day from another lounge owner saying that, they get tired of the people coming in and touching all the cigars and sniffing, especially right now with COVID, man, sniffing the cigars.
Yeah.
Cigar shop etiquette is a real thing. I even wrote a blog article about cigar shop etiquette.
Yeah.
If there's a pet peeve of yours about the etiquette side of it, what would it be?
Well, on that same note, we literally have signs in the humidor. I don't know if you had seen them, but there's signs hung over all the shelves that says, "Please only touch cigars that you intend on purchasing."
Yes.
They'll lift the sign up, grab 3 or 4 cigars, look at them, smell them, stick them right back down, and set the sign down. So
you got to come in with your Lysol and kill bacteria.
Yeah. But, there's all type of small little nuances that get on your nerves. I mean, I tell at least 2 or 3 people a week not to smoke Black and Milds in here. Hey, you got to put that out. We don't allow Black and Mild smoke in here, or cigarettes even. Hey, man, you can take it on the patio, smoke it on the patio.
But it was a totally different smell.
Yeah,
totally different smell. Yeah. Just a totally different vibe in general.
And our cigar purists don't want to smell that shit.
No, they don't.
Right?
I don't want to smell it.
Right.
I do not.
Other stuff, they get so comfortable here because we have a very inviting atmosphere that they'll put their feet up on the table. Okay. Well, hey, my dude.
Would you put your feet up at home?
They're right. On your coffee table?
Do you do that at home? No, you don't.
Yeah, the little stuff like that. But, it's no ding on them. I mean, they get that comfortable. They forget. And half the time I'm like, hey, man, can you take your feet down? He's like, oh, my God, I'm sorry, man. I was in the zone, man, In some ways,
it's a compliment, right? Because you made the place so inviting for them that they just felt so relaxed that they could do that. But you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. But other than that, we don't have a lot of issues, problems in here. We have a ton of repeat business, guys and girls that we see 3 or 4 times a week even. I've got some customers, Scooter at the bar, I see almost every single day.
Damn.
Literally every single day.
Wow. Are you full of members? Like all your lockers sold out now?
Now we have 1 locker open.
Oh, man. One locker, people. You better get on it.
Right. We only have 38 lockers, but we have about 55 members because a lot of those lockers are dual or corporate memberships.
Okay.
So some boxes have 3 people in them, some boxes have 2. So I think we're right at 55 members or so.
Okay.
And the best group of guys and gals, I don't know about everybody else's members, but our members are fantastic.
Are they? Okay.
I mean,
they hold it down for you.
Oh, yeah. And these guys are in here, and we talk about everything under the sun, from cigar smoke to space travel, like everything in between, and even when COVID hit, we would go fishing at a lake together, out spaced out, smoking cigars and stuff like that.
Wow.
So just a good group of guys. I'm lucky in the fact that they're members of mine, they're customers of mine, but they're also my friends.
Okay.
Right? At this point, we've built a really great circle of guys. It's just an amazing group.
Come in as friends, come in as strangers.
Yep.
Leave as friends. That's what you do here.
Yeah. I'm just very, very glad and thankful for them.
All right. Well, they make it happen, man. It's not about, it's about you as the proprietor who set all this up and made it possible. But to keep it going and make it successful, it's the members. It's the people that come here. It's your clientele that make it special.
And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. If I opened the doors a year and a half ago and nobody showed up, I'd be long gone by now.
Yeah.
And for these guys to dedicate that much time and money, because without the capital that they spend here.
This is not an inexpensive habit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
But it is an enjoyable habit.
Yeah. And everybody has a vice or something they like to do. It's like some guys are car guys. Some guys are Harley guys. I know guys that have $100,000 in their Harley,
Damn.
So, yeah.
I didn't know it could get that expensive.
Oh, yeah, it's serious.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you just pick what makes you happy, and cigars make me happy. I just happen to have a few vices: old school cars, motorcycles, cigars, bourbon.
Guilty in all the cars. Right. Everybody said the motorcycle. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but I love my cars.
Don't do it.
Well, I thought about doing a motorcycle thing. Probably, I brought it up to my wife probably about 15 years ago, and she shot that shit down real fast. So that's kudos to you. Maybe you were doing it before you met your wife, probably.
I have been on motorcycles in some form or fashion since 1986, since I was a little boy. But
you don't walk with a limp or anything, so that's good, man.
4 years ago, I was in a serious Harley accident.
Okay.
And I had a brain injury. I spent a week in ICU in Grady.
Damn.
And I thought I was out of here. My wife just wouldn't let me die. So she was like, nope, and she nursed me back to health, and it was a long road to recovery.
That's scary, man.
Oh yeah, it was rough, and I still have some effects from the accident, but for the most part, I'm happy to be here, so I can't complain.
There's nothing like that, man.
Yeah.
If anyone has an unfortunate experience like that, and you all of a sudden are faced with your own mortality, that's some sobering shit, man. That really wakes you up, man.
Yeah. And, not to get off the beaten path here, but somebody pulled up, because I don't remember anything for about a month and a half. They had popped my eardrum to let the cerebral fluid out, and I just lost a bunch of my memory, and it was a mess. But somebody had pulled up to the accident scene and filmed the aftermath with me on the ground.
What?
And then found me on Facebook somehow and sent me the video. So it all came crashing in on me.
I don't even know if that's good or bad.
I didn't feel about that. I've watched it a few times in the past 4 years. The first time I was like, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But after some time, I revisited.
Are you glad they did that?
Yeah, because I didn't remember, right? And that put it in context for me, like what this really happened, and it changed my life. And it's been a struggle. I mean, I still struggle, but it's just great that I'm still here. So
I'm glad you're still here.
Yeah, me too. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. But you know what? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife. She really pulled me through it, and cheers to her. Cheers.
What's your wife's name again?
April.
Yeah. Good man here. Obviously, you're a good woman for holding him down. That's awesome, man. Yep. That's awesome. Well, she did a good job.
Yeah.
Because everybody's thankful you're here, and I'm sure she's most thankful that you're here. That's awesome, man. Yeah. So now, still riding motorcycles, just
still riding with a little bit more care and caution. So I don't get out on it much because I spend so much time here.
I'm about to say you're a busy man.
Yeah. So and there's a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? In the near future, Acere or Acere.
Acere.
I'm so used to saying it.
Acere. They've converted you.
Right. Acere 2 will be in the works.
What?
Within this year.
You already picked the location?
No.
Okay.
I've got a few I'm interested in.
Okay.
So, but it's something that's being cooked up right now.
Well, please keep me in the loop because I want to come cover it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to be there for the opening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I hope to be open by the end of the year. I'm already positioning with a few different spots. We'll see how everything shakes loose.
Okay.
So
the beat goes on. Now you got to split your time between two different spots.
That's exactly right.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, and it's I think with the right staff here, and we've worked hard to get where it is with staff. I think I'll be fine to venture off and plow the next one.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you took the word. I was going to ask you, what does the future hold for Acere? But Acere. But it's Acere 2. So everybody look out for that. Acere 2 is coming soon. I'm assuming it probably won't be too far away. It'll be somewhere here in the metro, obviously. Can we get the scoop?
I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Okay.
I've got a few different spots and a few different ideas, some local stuff, but I'm also eyeing a few different spots that are a little bit further away.
Okay.
But it'll be even more magnificent than this one. It's kind of like when you build something, the second time you build it, you've worked out all the kinks on the first one. So this next one will be even more beautiful, even more well put together.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait. I'll be there.
Oh yeah,
I'll be there.
Yep.
All right, hey. I'm sitting here kicking it, everybody, with my man Brian T. It's been an awesome conversation. It's also getting to know you.
Yeah.
If you had something to tell your members and anybody, go for it. Tell them how you feel about things.
Well, if I had one thing to say, I just want to be thankful to y'all. I didn't know if this would be a success. I thought it would be a success, but anything's a calculated risk or a gamble. And we have been bombarded by support and good people, friendships, love interests here.
Mm-hmm. I got some matches made here.
Absolutely. So I'm just 100% truthfully, heartfelt thankful for the support, for the business, for the people that I've met. I couldn't have asked for a better group of individuals than the people that I got and the people that spend their time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly, truly mean that. Like, no bullshit. Like, I'm thankful.
Oh wow! I hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
I hear it in your voice.
It's been fantastic.
None of us make this journey alone, man.
Yeah, that's it.
We got a lot of support. You got your wife April. You got the family here. Your extended family here at the Acere Lounge. And now I hope you consider Stickmen, the Stickmen Podcast, part of the family because we enjoy it here, and we're here to support and promote as much as possible, man.
Well, I appreciate that.
So thank you for letting us come here and invade your space a little bit.
No worries, man.
You know?
I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity. I'm not big on being on camera, but this has been very comfortable, and you've been great, and I appreciate your time.
Well, you're a natural, man.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so we're going to get people to subscribe.
Yeah. And
more people that have not been to Acere Lounge, come check them out. You'll get great drinks. Well, I'm gonna stay out again. You're gonna get great cigars first and foremost because this is a true cigar lounge. So I'm gonna say that first. And then number two, you're gonna get some incredible drinks, some great cocktails that they have made up that are very unique to the Acere Lounge. And then last but not least, y'all putting it down in the kitchen, man. I love the food here. Matter of fact, after we're done, I'm gonna give me a little something to nibble on myself before I get out of here today.
Yeah.
So hey. Brian T, Acere Lounge, Reggie Kimball, a.k.a. Stickman #1, coming to you from Lithia Springs. Hey, remember to always puff, sip, chat, repeat. Subscribe to us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, IG TV. Follow us wherever. We'll be there. I'm out. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.